You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. India participated in the World Economic Forum's annual meeting at Davos earlier this month. The focus remained on the agenda, how the developing world can provide solutions to the shaky global economy. The president of the World Economic Forum said India is currently seeing an exponential growth. At Davos, Indian ministers asserted that the country has already seized the moment. We have more details.
Leaders accelerated global digital inclusion in health, education and finance to empower the developing geographies with an aim towards bridging the disproportionate access to essential life services in the world, that too against the COVID-19 backdrop, and India emerged as the winner.
If the agenda is growth, if the agenda is inclusion, if the agenda is servicing global aspirations, then India is well positioned to be a bridge, no matter what the conversation or what the geography. Today in India, we've had 3 years of growth of 7% plus, and this is in the shadow of the pandemic. In India now, our governor of the RBI, which is our central bank, the projections for the next financial year is a 7% growth as well. IMF has said that India will contribute 16% to the global growth. We have also managed in the past 9 years to bring 240 million Indians out of multi-dimensional poverty. Our inflation rates today are in fact lower than that they were a decade ago.
Speaking at a session, India's Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri asserted that India has already seized the moment.
You're not just transitioning from the 10th largest economy to the 5th largest economy. You're growing at 7.2% last 3 quarters, the coming quarter and the next year, pointing a good picture.
India's Information and Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said the last decade has seen a significant transformation in the Indian economy.
These 4 pillars, investment in infrastructure, both physical as well as digital, inclusive growth, focus on manufacturing, and immense amount of simplification. That is what has given us this growth, and with 95% confidence interval, we can all make an assessment that whole of the next decade will be growing, India will be growing at 6 to 8%, mostly on the upper side of this band.
The Chief Executive Officer for JP Morgan in Europe, the Middle East and Africa, Viswas Raghavan said India is the engine of growth that the world lacks. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Wednesday termed India as an quote-unquote extraordinary success story and appreciated the policies and programs of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying those have been very beneficial to the people of India.
We see the remarkable achievements that Prime Minister Modi has achieved, moved forward under his watch that have materially benefited and materially positively affected so many Indian lives. We also see a relationship between our countries that is in a new place, at a new level. And that's been, I think, the very deliberate effort of both Prime Minister and President Biden, who believes in this deeply.
Sustained and robust growth in agriculture, sharp rebound in manufacturing industry, resumption of services activity and buoyant revenues suggest that the economy is progressing well and bound to spearhead global economy in times to come.